It's 5 o'clock on a Wednesday and it's time for...
Craig and Ryland Magic Review Show.
I'm Craig. You're Ryland.
I'm Ryland.
Welcome back to another review show right here on...
Magic TV.
He's a bit confused because this is the second review show in a day that we've done. We're on to review show number 2. We're stacking them up because we've got a very busy couple of weeks. Yep. But yes, that is right. It is another review show right here on Magic TV. 4 new products that we are going to be looking at. 4 very exciting new products. And we're going to kick things off right now. What have we got on this one? Oh, should we start with that? Yes, we will. We're going to kick things off with a brand new Mickael Chatelain trick that has just been released. Somebody who is incredible at creating gimmicked magic.
Why is it called that?
It's not called that. I said
you just said it's called that. Oh, you said, oh yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. Is this going to be one of these review shows?
Yeah.
Do you want to play VR after this review show?
Yeah.
Choose. If you want to play VR, no silliness. I'm going to be watching. Everybody at home is going to be watching. I want sensible Ryland on this review show. Do you think we can handle sensible Ryland? You can do it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Sensible Ryland, here we go. Let's start with the first product. Okay, you're going to find it really hard to be sensible, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Try your best, try your best. Mm-hmm. The first one we're going to be looking at is Money Money by Mickael Chatelain, which is, in essence, the change of a card into a dollar bill. Mm-hmm. That's what this is. Now, in a second, you're going to see Ryland doing a performance that he filmed for Instagram. Mm-hmm. What you need to understand with this is that you get it's a bit difficult to explain. You get a gimmick. And you're going to see Ryland using this gimmick in a second to kind of make a card disappear into his pocket and change into a dollar bill. You're going to see that. However, what you need to understand is the main routine that's included in Money Money actually uses 2 gimmicks. And the second one you make yourself. But we didn't actually like the second gimmick. We didn't like the way the second gimmick worked. In essence, what you have with Money Money is you have the one gimmick, which is pre-made. But then Mickael teaches you how to make a very simple second gimmick. And the effect is that you bring 2 cards out and 2 cards change into $2 bills. But I think that the one that you make yourself is a lot weaker than the other one because the change...
How expensive are they?
Huh?
How expensive are they?
I think about $30.
So you couldn't just buy 2 each?
Well, no, I mean, I understand why he's gone down the route that he has, but I think that the best use of it is the way that you're using it, which is just having a card turn into a dollar bill. Because then you can show... The beautiful thing about this is once you've done that, you can show the dollar bill on both sides. Yeah. And that's what I like. With the other one, you can't. You if you change 2 cards into $2 bills, you can't actually show the other side of the other dollar bill. So I understand why he's done it that way because it's a blackjack presentation, the way that he goes for it. So it's like, hey, you know, I always play blackjack, I always win because of this. But on the tutorial, he does go through other options, and one of the options is the way that you're actually performing it. Mm-hmm. So let's have a look at this. This is to music, and this is just a very simple performance to music that Ryland did for Instagram a little while ago. Okay, now that change looks amazing. Mm-hmm. When you have that card and you just hold it and it just changes into a dollar bill and then you can show both sides, that looks incredible. It really does look so good. And here's the thing. So you can have the cards set up beforehand and you can have it on the face of the deck or you can have it in a pocket. That's absolutely no problem. You can bring it out. But once you're holding it like Ryland did in that video, you can't show the back of the card at that point. No. You can only show the front. And it's kind of a little bit angly until you do the change, isn't it? Yeah. But if people look at it from behind or look at it from the sides, they're going to see what's going on. And it's also a little bit difficult to get into in the middle of a routine. It's not impossible, but it is a little bit more difficult to get into the middle of the routine because you have to basically get to that position. And the other thing is there is something on the other side of the card, which you can't see, that needs to be refreshed every so often to be able to do this. So once you've done maybe 5 or 6 performances, you will need to refresh that thing again. It's not a difficult thing to refresh. I'm trying to talk in code here so that we're not giving the trick away. But there is something that you're going to need to refresh, else it's going to make the routine harder to do. You filmed another video of this as well, where you were kind of...
I think you could do this. You could do it without the actual thing.
Really?
Yeah, because what if you had it and you're holding it and you literally just went and threw it into the air, and as it came down, it like changed.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should try that. You should try that.
Like,
then you wouldn't need to refresh that thing at the back.
It up and like spin it. Like as you throw it up, it's like spin it. So it's spinning in the air, and as it comes down, when you catch it,
yeah, that could work. I do like the idea though of it's literally a card, and with hardly any movement it changes. I do like that. I think that is what makes this trick, to be perfectly honest. I'll play you another video. Ryland filmed this for Instagram as a talking piece as well, where he showed a dollar bill and put it in his lap beforehand. Have a look at this very quickly.
Okay, so I've got a dollar bill here, as you can see. I'm just going to put it there just for a second. So I'm going to take this here, and you can see this card is the King of Spades, as you can see. Now what's really cool is because I'm a magician, if I just snap my fingers, you can see I can turn it into a real dollar bill. And now the dollar bill down here is the King of Spades.
Okay, so you've seen 2 videos now that basically show you exactly what this looks like when you're performing it to camera. Okay, and you're performing it to a real life situation as well. Negatives. 1, it's made out of thread. There is a thread component to it, so at some point it might break. Although if it does, Mickael does teach you how to actually fix it. And he goes through all of that. Second of all, it's a dollar bill, so bear that in mind. There is no UK currency version of this. On the tutorial, Mickael does go through how to change it into a different denomination or a different style of bill, but I don't think UK sterling would work with this. So if you're in the UK, you might have to use a dollar bill, which you can get around with presentation, but that's worth noting. Number 3, if you're going to do the way Ryland did it, it's angly at the start and before the change, but after the change, it's not angly. That's the same with all of the changes. But with the 2 card version, it's angly afterwards as well, because you can't show the back of the second bill. So that's also worth noting. Nothing is examinable. You can't examine it beforehand. You can't examine it during. You can't examine it afterwards. The tutorial's well done, but and Mickael goes through a few different ideas. I think that the best use for this is what you've just used it for, which is Instagram. I think that you could get away with this absolutely if you were doing sort of table hopping.
I think I would do this in close-up though.
Would you?
Yeah.
I think it would work for you in close-up. I mean, this is the sort of thing that you like doing, isn't it? Like super visual close-up magic.
That's why I'm going to give it 100% plus tuning.
100% plus tuning. I'm going to give it 70%. I'm not going to do it, and I think there's a few negatives to it that would mean that I wouldn't do it or would want to do it. But I can see why somebody would want to do it. Don't get me wrong. The change looks exceptional, and it works, and it does what it's meant to do. And it's very easy to do as well. Ryland did that change after about half an hour of practicing with it. So it's very easy to do. You're not going to have a problem with it. And there's a lot to like. And if you can work out a way... Are you okay?
Yeah.
I could imagine you using this as an opener and kind of just a really quick open and go... and then going into something else. So yeah, I can see this working close up. I'm not going to do it. 70% from me, 100% plus tooling from Ryland. Well, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Okay, so the next routine, this trick, Ryland, is as old as the hills. This trick is older than you.
Is it older than you?
It's older than, no, it's not older than me. There's very few.
It's not as old as the hills then?
No.
Is it older than World War?
No, it's really not. So,
is it older than the First War?
No.
Like the first ever war? The first ever civil war?
No.
The first ever argument in the world?
No, Ryland, it's not. It's by John Bannon. It's not that old. But it's quite an old trick. It's called Stranger's Gallery. And the first time I saw this was in Bannon's book. And then Bannon brought it out as a solo trick, a trick on its own. And I've been doing this for probably, it must be about 20 years that I've been doing this routine, if not longer. I've been doing this for a very, very, very long time.
You're old.
You're
old.
I really am old. In fact, on one of the more recent Q&As, somebody said to me, what's my favourite colour changing deck? And I actually said, Stranger's Gallery is my favourite colour changing deck. And then if you get me that purple box over there, lo and behold, it's not been available for a long time. But now, Big Blind Media have brought back out Stranger's Gallery by John Bannon, which is super great. So what you have here is you have
it's not older than me.
You have a packet trick wallet. I'm not unsure why, because it's not a packet trick. They just put the cards in there. Maybe it's to keep them safe when you're not using them. But in essence, this is the best colour changing deck on the market, because this deck of cards, this colour changing deck routine, what it allows you to do is, well, I'll let them see a performance in a minute. I'm not going to say what it allows you to do. But I remember when I read this in the book and I was really disappointed because it used double-backed cards, amongst other things, that I didn't have. And
what, you could just stick 2 cards together?
No, not for the handling.
Smart.
No, I wasn't smart enough. And so I shelved it, and it was only after I was able to saw, I got the original Stranger's Gallery that I was able to do it. And I've done this for so long. Now, I'm not going to say any more about it. Let's have a look at a performance of this, and then we'll talk about everything. Okay, right, I've got a deck of cards here, and I'm going to show you probably one of the world's greatest card tricks. Are you interested in seeing one of the world's greatest card tricks? Yeah? Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you ahead of time what I'm going to do. There's 52 cards in the deck. And I'm not going to try and influence you at all into picking a card. You're going to be able to pick any card that you want to. But I'm telling you right now, I'm going to know what card you're going to pick ahead of time.
Okay.
And the reason I'm going to know that is because I'm going to make a prediction. I'm actually going to make 3 predictions from 3 different parts of the deck. But I'm not going to look for the predictions. I'm going to take them out randomly. So I'm going to take a prediction out from there. I'm going to take a prediction out from there. And I'm going to take a prediction out from there. That's 3 predictions from 3 different parts of the deck. Okay? I'm allowed to look at the predictions. I think they're going to be great. Okay. So the predictions go there. Now, you can pick any one of these cards. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to bevel through the deck like this, Ryland. I'm going to run my thumb down the deck. You're going to say stop. And wherever you say stop, we'll take that card, okay? So just say stop.
Stop.
Right there. You sure? So not that one. This one here. Okay. We're going to take the Jack of Hearts. Are you happy with that one?
Yeah.
Rest of the deck's going to go over here on top of the box. Now, think about this for a second, Ryland. You could have picked any card, but you picked the Jack of Hearts. That was a free choice. Yeah. If I told you that I knew that you would pick the Jack of Hearts before you picked it, would that be good? Yeah. Because these 3 predictions have been here the whole time, Ryland. But I genuinely did know. You see, this first card that I put down was a Jack of Hearts. This second card that I put down right here was a Jack of Hearts. And this third card that I put down here was a Jack of Hearts, which means that I've got 1, 2, 3 of hearts. Jack of Hearts. And when you add it to the card you picked, it means that I've got 4 Jack of Hearts. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, hang on a minute. It's impossible to have 4 Jack of Hearts. You got my card correct, but how could you have 4 Jack of Hearts? Well, the answer's really simple. These Jack of Hearts are all from different decks, like this Jack of Hearts. This is actually from a blue back deck. I mean, the back design is completely different. And this Jack of Hearts here, this one's actually from a yellow back deck. As you can see, the back design on that one is completely different. This Jack of Hearts, well, this one here is actually from a green back deck. And again, the back design is completely different, which means that this one must be from that deck of cards over there. It must be from the red back deck, except it's not, because you see this deck of cards is actually a greenback deck. And that is the trick. Okay, so that's a performance that I did to camera with Ryland watching of Stranger's Gallery. He'd never really seen this before. No. And you said that you thought this was exceptional. Yeah. You thought this was really great. What's awesome about this is, and one of the reasons I love Stranger's Gallery so much, there's a lot of very clean displays at the beginning of the deck, being apparently, in my case, a red deck. But I love the fact that it's framed as a prediction routine. You're taking 3 predictions out, and as you're taking those 3 predictions, they're seeing red back cards everywhere, which is amazing. You then have them pick the card, you put the rest of the deck aside, and you show that the predictions are correct in a kind of a really weird way, because they're all Jack of Hearts. And that allows you to go into that packet trick sequence where you're showing that all of the backs of all of the Jack of Hearts are different colours and different back designs, which is just a really cool, beautiful moment. But then that allows you to come back to the deck that they saw, and now the entire deck is a completely different colour. I used a greenback deck.
I got all my different colours there.
I know.
Orange, purple.
Well, in the
blue,
performance, John Bannon did it, and he used a rainbow deck at the end.
Like palette.
Not like palette; it's a different rainbow deck.
So I said that.
Yeah, you said palette. That's coming out soon.
Shouldn't have said that.
You shouldn't have said that, but it's fine. But you could use a the deck.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert. The deck that you're left with at the very, very end is a
Not
regular. No VR. The deck that you're left with at the end of the routine is a regular deck of cards. It may have a weird back design, but it's a regular deck of cards. So you can continue with your act with this deck as a regular deck. The cards that changed.
What if you got like some of mine, and I took a red deck, an orange deck, my yellow deck, the green deck, the turquoise deck, and the purple deck.
You can make your own rainbow deck.
Red, orange, yellow, green, purple, red, orange, yellow, green.
You can create your own. You can create your own. Yeah, you could.
Red, orange, yellow, green.
Okay, stop. Please stop.
Orange, yellow,
Okay,
green.
calm down. Yes. The thing that
no, it's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, red, orange, yellow, green.
Now, the thing you need to understand is that the cards that change, the 3 Jack of Hearts that change into different back designs, they can't be examined. But the routine is constructed so beautifully, and I know this because I've done this a bazillion times. When you have the entire deck change colour, that's where everybody wants to look. And all I would do in this routine is I would just take the other cards, put them away, and I'm left with this regular deck of cards to go into whatever I want to go into, and to reset. All I have to do is just put those cards out of my pocket back on top of the deck, and I'm reset, ready to go again. This really is the best colour changing deck on the market. I say on the market because there's another one coming soon that's really good. Palette. Hashtag. Spoiler. But this is the best colour changing deck on the market right now. It's amazing. It is so good. It has stood the test of time. And I'm so glad that Big Blind Media have pimped it up, given it a really nice box, put a nice tutorial together for it. It's great to see John teaching it.
That you're not going to be using, so I'm going to steal.
Don't let them see that. Do it later. There we go. It's a great product. It's amazing. If you don't do Stranger's Gallery, buy it. You won't be disappointed. Yeah. It's great to see John teach it as well in the tutorial, which is very well done. Live performance as well, which is good. And if you
always good when there's a live performance.
Always good.
Always good.
So yeah, and if you
did we do one of his live performances once?
What do you mean?
Or is it it's the other guy? I'm getting confused.
Don't worry about it.
I was thinking of John Warren.
No, different guy.
Lego deck.
No, different person.
Different person completely.
Yeah, one's a mentalist and the other one's a bit forget it, Ryland. The other thing I should say is the cards that you actually get with this are really well made as well. It's not like it's just a normal double back rider back card. They've been custom created so each one changes into a completely different back design. I'm giving this 120%.
120% plus Chatelain.
120% plus Chatelain. It's an amazing card trick. Yeah, I'll give it 120% plus Chatelain as well.
I'm doing it squared then.
Okay, you square it. I'll just do it as is.
No, you got to square it too.
I'll square it as well.
Square it again.
VR.
Just say square it again.
Square it again. Let's move on with the next project. Okay, so the third item we're going to be looking at today is part of the Murphy's World's Greatest Magic range. Now, if you don't know what that is, basically, Murphy's Magic have been releasing L&L, because they own the rights to L&L. They've been releasing L&L.
L stand for?
I did know. It's the guy that made it. It was originally by Lewis Falanga, Lewis and somebody else, but it doesn't really matter. But they bought the rights to the L&L range, and part of the L&L range of the World's Greatest Magic series. And what we have here, a couple of weeks ago, we looked at the World's Greatest Professor's Nightmare routines, and you learned that new way of doing Professor's Nightmare.
Is the world's greatest.
This is the world's greatest ring and rope routine.
Ring on rope or ring and rope?
Ring and rope. Now, here's the thing. Ring and rope is one of your favourite close-up tricks.
Uh-huh.
Literally, if you told Ryland to go and do a close-up set, and he could only do one set, I know what it would be. I'm telling you right now, I know what it would be. It would start with your cube routine, your close-up cube routine, with the little mini cube to do the cube match, and the you'd start off by doing some solves First of all, it'll be a shake solve, then a toss-up solve, then a one-move solve, all those different solves. Then you do a timing solve. You'd finish off with the, you'd have the match-up with the mini cube that you give them at the beginning. Then you'd solve the big cube. You'd then put that away and you do fibre optics. You'd start with Professor's Nightmare, then you'd do fibre optics, and then after fibre optics, you'd put the 2 pieces of rope away, and you'd be left with 1 piece of rope, and you'd take a ring out, and you'd do ring on rope to finish, and that'd be the end of your set.
Nearly.
What do you mean, nearly? Oh, you've added chroma at the end recently, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, he's added chroma at the end as kind of an encore piece, isn't it? Like he walks away and he goes, "Do you want one more little thing? Oh, I've got this. Do you want to see a Stroop test?" Then he does chroma. I know his set. inside out and back to front.
That's the bonus set. If I had to choose one set, that'd be the set. But I got that burglar trick where it's like you pull, you can't get it out. Look, hold it.
I know you've got a lot of close.
I got a lot of close
sponge balls and loads of stuff.
Marshmallow sponge balls. What?
But
how is that thing?
What?
Marshmallow sponge balls.
Well, it is. You know it is. Right.
I can't believe it.
The point is VR. We're not going to have time if you keep talking about other stuff.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So.
Why would I go VR?
So, the point is, you've done ring and rope for ages. Now, on this set, there are a ton of ring and rope routines, like an absolute metric ton. You see Daryl's routine. Daryl's routine of ring and rope is amazing. He was the first person to create that sequence that you use in your ring and rope, where you hold the 2 ends and you just drop the ring and it goes into the middle.
Oh, that's sick! I like that one.
Yeah, Daryl's the first person to do that. You've got. And
I love the one where you hold it here and it's like not coming off.
Yep.
Come on.
That's taught on there as well.
Really?
Yeah.
And what about the one where they hold it, I twist it, and then I twist it?
Yeah, but they teach it on there, not with it being held by another spectator, but they twist it on there, and he puts his foot on it, and he holds it himself, and he pulls it off himself. So his foot's and using a long piece of rope, so he puts his foot on it, and he brings it up here, and he goes, watch.
What about that one?
Yep, that's on there, yeah, the whole thing. Now, the thing is...
And what about the one where it's like... No, it's this one. No, it is this one.
Yeah, that one.
No, it's this one.
Yeah, that's part of Daryl's ring and rope routine, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so your ring and rope routine is made up of about multiple different phases of other people's ring and rope routines that are all on here. You've got Mark Leverage's ring and rope routine that I did for years. It's called the Ring Competition. It's one of the best presentations for a ring and rope routine you'll ever see. He talks about how he went to a magic competition and he watched 3 people performing the ring and the rope, and it's just a really smart way of doing it. Now, all of the ring and rope routines on this project, they all revolve around, other than one, they all revolve around the same way of doing it, which is there is a rope, there is a ring, and they teach you various different ways of getting the ring and the rope off. Eldo Colombini's routine is absolutely brilliant. There's a move that Eldo does, I mean, you saw it, but I know you're wanting to learn it, where you take the rope and you tie a knot. So there's a loop there, and you take the ring and you do this, and it drops onto the knotted part of the rope. It looks amazing. So there's lots of different versions. The last person that goes on to the that teaches their ring and rope routine, he teaches, and I can't remember his name, I'm so sorry, but he teaches a variation of what has become known as the Dave Williamson ring and rope routine. Now, the difference between that style of routine and all the others is that you've got an extra small piece. So you've got the long piece of rope and you've got an extra small piece, which is normally brought in during the course of the routine, and that allows you to apparently knot the long piece into a loop and have the ring go on and off. Completely different methodology to all the other ring and ropes. So if you're wanting to learn, and you know, Dave Williamson wasn't the first person to do this. There's lots of people that have done this concept of having a smaller rope and a longer piece of rope. Hyperring by Richard Sanders, which was on the Fibre Optics Extended DVD. That's Richard Sanders' version of doing this as well. Lots of different ways of doing it, but if you're wanting to learn that style of ring and rope, where you've got a small piece that's hidden that no one's aware of, there's a really nice way of doing this on this project as well. There's even a version where they're using big 12-inch rings and lots of different moves with the big 12-inch rings.
I'm going to hold this massive 12-inch ring.
Yeah. So look, I love this. If you're wanting to, very quickly, let's just do, I asked you to run outside and do a performance to Thea so that we could include it in this review show. You were freezing your butt off outside. You were like, my hands are cold. I'm like, just do the trick quickly. So here's a performance of Ryland doing the ring and rope to Thea, just so you can say, you didn't do your full routine, but there were a few different moves that you used here, just so you can see a few different moves. All the moves that you're going to see Ryland use, they're all on this project. Let's have a look at this, and then we'll give it a rating.
Okay, so I'm here with my sister Thea. Say hi. And take this ring, make sure it's completely normal. Give it a little pull. Yeah, there's no holes. No holes. There's a big one in the middle then. It's fine. Would it be impressive if I get the ring on the middle of the rope on the count of 3? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Are you impressed? No. Start again then. Tell you what, I'll tell you how to do it. Look. You see, I'll put it on the count of 3. 1, 2. On, just like that. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I'll tell you what, I'm going to take it like this. And you see I'm going to take it? I'm going to take it off just quickly. I'm going to take it off. Okay. There you go. Okay. Take this on. Now you're going to see the moment that it joins the rope. So watch the middle of the rope, watch the middle of the ring. Drop it down. And it joins straight away. That's pretty cool. Look, I'll tell you what. I'll do it again, but I'll do it backwards. You see, I'm going to do it backwards by putting it in like this and putting it on. So you can hold it tight. This time, instead of putting it on, I'm going to put it off. So hold the bottom there. Yep, the bottom there. Yeah. And you see it's on completely, even when I pull. Yep. Look, you can pull tight. Yeah, it's not coming off. 3, 2, 1. Just like that. And it completely comes off the rope, which is pretty cool. I'll tell you what, just take that to the end. To the end. Yeah, that hand. Yeah, okay. Take it. Put it around like that. Put it in. Get it in there. Okay. Now hold that right there. There. Hold the ring, yeah, and pull on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Pull. Pull really hard that way. One pull. Give it a pull. Perfect, just like that. And you can see the ring has come off the rope completely. What?
Okay, so the bottom line is, if you want to do ring and rope, this is the DVD. Well, it's not a DVD. This is the project to get, because it just goes through so many different approaches, so many different handlings. Very quickly, as somebody who does ring and rope on stage and close up, why should people learn ring and rope?
Because it's awesome and it looks so amazing, and it's packed smalls and it plays massive, and
it does. You do it on stage, don't you? As well as doing it close up.
I do it everywhere.
You do it everywhere. You do it everywhere.
So good.
So good.
So good.
So good.
So good.
And
So good.
VR. And you're going to learn so many different ways of actually being able to do this as well. So give it a rating, Ryan. What do you think of this? And are you going to extend your ring and rope routine anymore with other phases, or are you just like, this is really cool, I've got my own routine, I'm not going to deviate from that?
I might get one routine.
One
and
more.
then for the next, I'll do my normal routine for one person.
Yep.
Then the next group I'll do a different routine. The next one I'll do a different routine.
You're going to ring and rope people to death. Right, okay. Well,
and at the end I'll get them all into one massive group, and then it'll be like, well, I did this one to you. I did this one to you, and I just did a whole 5-hour long ring and rope routine.
Oh my god. What are you going to give it, Ryan? Give it a rating.
100,000,000% squared times tuning.
100.
Square
What he said
plus
there. Okay. I'm going to give it 100%. If you want to learn ring and rope, this is absolutely the way to do it. Now, we've got one final review. Let's have a look at this one right now. So the final routine we're looking at today is Tricolour by the 1914 and your friend, Simon Lipkin. You like Simon, don't you? You and Simon were hanging out at the YMC. Didn't you say, I really like Simon? This is Simon's first physical release to the Magic community. He's brought out some ebooks before and some downloads, and he's got lots of other physical.
Does he do stuff with Preston?
Yes, he does. He works a lot. Well, this is his first solo release. Yeah. He's brought stuff out with Preston before, but this is his first solo release. I think, honestly, that Simon is one of the best performers, and I think he's one of the best creators and one of the best mentalists in the UK right now. I don't think there's anybody that comes close to touching him. I think that he's got... You're as good as Simon, are you?
No. I'm not a mentalist, so definitely not. Definitely not.
But he's so good, isn't he? And he was
Yeah,
so funny when he
he's really
hosted
good,
the Young Magician of the Year. He was very, very funny. And just very, very talented, annoyingly talented. So what Tricolour is it is a version of Colour Match, but designed really for close-up. I say it's designed for close-up. You could do it for stage as well if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But in essence, you don't have any electronics. There's no electronics at all. Now, we've seen other different routines where there aren't any electronics. Illusionist brought out this thing with Mark Lemon a while ago that we reviewed, that when you take the pens away, if you remember, the little coloured ball bearings go down and you can see what colour they picked. But that involves having that big pot on the table. And all this is 3 pens and a couple of envelopes. And the 3 pens, in essence, you have a red pen, a yellow pen, and a red pen, a blue pen, and a green pen, but you can use any colours that you want to. But each one of these pens has a black lid on them. So the whole idea is that you can show these pens and you can have them mix them up as much as they want to. And when you take them back, you will immediately know which pen's which allows you to go in so many different directions. Now you get 3. The pens are normal, but you get 3 gimmicks, right? That allows you, no matter how good or bad your eyesight is, these gimmicks will allow you to immediately, in any lighting condition, know which pen is which. So the spectator can mix them up, and just in the action of just picking them up and holding them here or putting them down on the table, you look away, you'll immediately know which one's where. It's that direct. If you want to use a 4th pen, you can. There is options for having a 4th pen in there as well, so you can have up to 4 different colours in play. Now, the main routine on the project is genius. It's a combination of a number of principles, and the idea is that you show these 3 pens and you show that they're all different colours, you put the lids over them, they mix them up as much as they want to. They then pick a pen, and there is no force, and you take an envelope and you show that inside the envelope there's like a billet, and on the billet it says "Colour me in," and Simon turns away at this point and he says, "Look, there's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 different things to colour in. Do you want to change your mind with the pen? No, you're happy with the mind. You're happy with the pen that you've got. Take that pen and colour in the first thing." Then he says, "Now pick up any one of the other 2 pens. It makes no difference, and colour in the second thing." He's telling them, before, if you think about the method for Colour Match, which I know you do on stage, you couldn't do that with the original method of Colour Match. He literally says, pick up a second pen and colour it in, whichever one they want to. And then he does that same thing with the 3rd pen. Once they've coloured it in, he points out the envelope that's been there from the very beginning that he took the thing from. And when he opens up the envelope, it's predicted all of the choices that they would make. It's really ridiculously strong. And all you need is an envelope in your pocket, 3 pens that you can use in your act for anything else because they're real pens, and you can do that routine, and it is as strong as I said. This is absolutely genius. This is the best version of Colour Match I've ever seen, and this is coming from somebody who actually contributed routines to the stage version of Colour Match. The Amverdi version of Colour Match is great. You do it on stage. You've done it on stage for a long time. I think this is better, especially for a close-up situation. This is just brilliant. Also, there's lots of other routines on the project as well. And I could go through all of them. There's multiple different routines. My favourite is a version of free will. Well, he calls it a version of free will. It doesn't use the free will principle. If I had to say it was a version of anything, it's really more of a version of Stephen Tucker's Visa Cabaret. But basically what it is get this. This is great. And he uses it as a follow-up to the first routine. So he has 3 pens, and he tells them to mix them up as much as they want to and then give them in back. He spreads them out in a little fan and he looks away and he says, take the first pen and put it in your back pocket. Take the second pen, put it in your left-hand pocket. Take the 3rd pen, put it in your right-hand pocket. Just do that. And they do. And he says, right, you've put one in your left-hand pocket. And he reaches into his left-hand pocket and he shows there's just 1 pen top in there, and it's a green pen top. And he tells them to take out the pen that was in their left-hand pocket, take off the black lid, and it's the green pen. Then he tells them to take out the pen that was in the right-hand pocket, and before they do, he takes out the lid from his right-hand pocket, and it's a red lid. And then when they look, it's the red pen. And he's predicted every outcome. A little bit like Visa Cabaret, if you know Visa Cabaret. Very, very clever, but bang up to date and modern. Look, I'm going to show you a performance of this. Now, this is a performance of me doing this to the guys in the office. I got the performance. I wanted to actually show you this to a live audience. So I've got a couple of the guys from the office. I performed it to the people in the office. You're going to have a look at this right now and have a look at it and see the performance, and then we'll bring it back and we'll give it a rating.
Yeah.
So how you doing, Jack? You okay?
Yep.
Good stuff. Have you ever heard of the expression, don't judge a book by its cover?
Several times.
Yeah, and you believe in that, yeah?
To an extent.
Okay, let's test that theory. I have some pens here, okay? Now, hold on to the pens for me. And if I asked you what you're holding there, what would you say?
Sharpies.
Very good. What colour?
Black and grey.
Yeah, black and grey, but I mean, the colour of the Sharpies would be black, right?
Yeah.
See, that's judging a book by its cover. The reason is, this is not black. This one is blue. I just put a black marker pen on it, black top on it. This one is not black, this one is red. And this one is not black, this one is green. So you kind of judge the book by its cover, but that's fine. We're going to use these in an experiment. First of all, I want to make sure that all of the lids are pushed down firmly. I want you to make sure that you can't see what colour the pen is. There's no markings, there's no nothing. It is literally just 3 pens. When you're happy with that, I want you to take the pens, put them underneath the table and mix them up so you don't know which one's where, and then just pop them on the table in front of me. Okay, can you do that for me? And put them under the table so I can't see, you can't see. And here's the thing, it is very important, Jack, that you feel like you're making all of the decisions here. I don't want you to think that there's any way that I can cheat, there's no jiggery-pokery going on. It's really important that you understand that every decision that's going to get made is yours. So pop them down here. The next question I have for you is you're going to pick one of these pens up. Now, there's no wordplay, nothing like that. When I snap my fingers, you're going to pick up one of those pens. That locks you into a decision. The decision is which pen you're going to use first.
Okay.
So when I snap my fingers, you're going to pick up a pen. Please do that right now. Amazing. Now, I'm only going to ask you this once and once only. I still have 2 pens left. Are you happy with that pen? Would you like to switch?
I'll stick.
You'll stick. Do you want to change your mind? Are you happy?
Yep.
If you're happy, I'm happy. Cool. So, you noticed that I also have an envelope here. Now, inside the envelope, there's a couple of things. The first thing is a card that says, colour me in. And there's also another card there, but we're going to get back to that a little bit later on. Let me just close this up for now. We'll put that over there. So, it says, colour me in. And you'll notice there's 3 numbers on the other side, right? 1, 2, and 3. 1 is a square, 2 is a circle, 3 is a triangle. I'm going to look away. And when I do, what I want you to do is you're going to take that pen that you picked first, and you are going to colour in the square. Okay? I'm going to look away. So I'm going to look away. I want you to colour in the square and tell me when you've coloured this in. When you've coloured this in, put the lid back on the pen and just put it over to your right.
Okay.
Yeah?
Done.
Now there's 2 pens left. You can use the next one to colour in number 2. So pick up whichever pen you want to and colour in number 2.
The circle. Okay. Okay.
And pop that now. And then you're going to take that final pen and you're going to colour in number 3. Thank you. Have you done that? And then turn it over so I can't see. I'll put that a little bit closer to you. So, let's just recap. First of all, you mixed up the pens as much as you wanted to. When you mixed up the pens, the next thing that you did is you took, you chose one pen. It was your choice. I even told you could change, but you didn't. You took that pen and you coloured in the first thing. Then you picked up a second pen and you coloured in whichever one you wanted to, and you coloured in the second one, and then with the third pen. I have no idea how that's been coloured in. But do you remember that I told you, as well as that card, there was another card here that's been there the whole time, right?
Yeah.
This is a prediction of what you would do. This prediction has been here from the very, very beginning. For the first time, we're going to have a look at how you coloured this in. Okay, so you went for a red square, a green circle, and a blue triangle.
Yep.
That was your choice.
It was.
Interesting. Because this prediction that's been here from the very, very beginning, before you even started colouring anything in, says on there, the square is red, the circle is green, and the triangle is blue.
I don't understand.
No, me neither.
How?
No idea. Can you, if you figure it out, please let me know, because that's
Yeah, I don't. If you're not gonna.
that's kind of crazy. But there you go. That's it's exciting because that's never worked before, so we got to share the moment together, which is good. So I have here 3 pens. Okay, and they're the pens that we were using earlier on, right? But we're going to be doing something a little bit different with them. Once again, I want to remember that although the caps are black, underneath the pens, they're 3 different colours. They're blue, they're green, and they're red. What I did is I took the caps off 3 coloured pens and I replaced them with black caps because I'm a bit of a psycho like that.
Whoever you borrow them off in there is going to kill you.
Yes, they are. Do me a favour, take these pens and put them underneath the table and mix them up so you don't know the order. Well, you couldn't possibly know the order because you don't even know what lid's on which pen. And then when you've done that, make sure that I don't know what's going on. Make sure there's no way that I can see the colour underneath the cap. Make sure there's nothing I could possibly know. And then when you've done that, bring them out and pass them to me and we will continue. Are you happy?
Sure.
Okay. Now, the decisions that you're about to make are yours and yours alone. Okay? So I'm going to spread these out in a fan. I'm not going to change the order, I'm just going to spread them out in a fan. When I snap my fingers, you're going to take one of those 3 pens. And notice I'm going to look away the entire time. So if you could take a pen right now, that would be very good. And when you've got that, you got one? Yep. When you've got that pen, put it into your left hand trouser pocket, or your left hand jeans pocket, if that's okay.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do this again. There's 2 pens left. When I snap my fingers, you're going to take another pen. Can you do that right now? You got that one?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep.
Take that one and put it in your right hand jeans pocket. And when you've done that, let me know.
Yep.
Okay, and there's one last pen. I'm going to snap my fingers, take the final pen, and put it in your back pocket.
Do I have a back pocket?
You got a back pocket?
Yeah, I do.
Perfect. So, you made all the decisions. You mixed the pens up underneath the table. You then gave them to me. You then took them. You decided which pocket they would go into. You chose the order of the pens. You did everything.
Yep.
What I didn't tell you is when I took those 3 coloured pens and I replaced the pen lids, I put the pen lids in my pocket. Now, the first pen lid I put into my left-hand pocket, and I put the red pen lid into my left-hand pocket. And that's been there since before we began this experiment. By the way, this is an experiment, not a trick. This experiment is a trick that might go wrong.
Good to know.
This was in my left-hand pocket from the very beginning. You chose to put a pen in your left-hand pocket. Can you take it out for me? And take the lid off.
What the fuck?
Wow, that's great. That belongs there. Thank you. Now, bearing in mind, you mixed up the pens. You made all the decisions. I should show you in my right-hand pocket, I put a pen lid as well. I put the blue one. And you chose to put a pen in your right-hand pocket. Do you want to take it out? How did we do? Oh, wow. That's, that belongs there as well. And just so we know that it's 100% correct, in my back pocket, I put a green cap. Why don't you reach into your back pocket? Take out the pen, open it up. That one also belongs there. And that, I think that's pretty amazing. What do you think? You look very confused,
I am
John.
very confused.
Yeah, you look okay, so bottom line, right, this is what I think. Big statement, but I think this is on my list for potential trick of the year 2024. I think this is right there on the list. I can't think of a time when somebody brought out their first solo trick and it was as strong as this. I'm sure it's happened, but I can't remember in recent times the last time it has. This is brilliant. I love this. 3 pens in your pocket and an envelope and you're good to go. This is just commercial gold. This is one of the most commercial routines I've ever seen. And I'm going to be performing the ever-loving hell out of this. And I love the fact that it doesn't matter what your eyesight's like, you're going to be able to see this immediately. The ideas, the concepts that Simon has come up with are crazy good. But it's literally the icing on the cake. There is going to be so much more you can do with this. In fact, I've been playing around with this and I've come up with a few routines that I've asked Simon if I film them, does he want me to send them over to him to, add on to the project? And he said yes, and Dee said yes. So I'm going to be sending something over to them in the next few weeks with this as well, because this is brilliant. This is one of the most commercial tricks that I've seen in a long time. I know I've been talking a lot, But it's just
Yeah.
because I love this.
Yeah.
What do you think? You do colour match on stage, and there's a couple of times when it's gone wrong and it hasn't worked,
Yeah.
isn't there?
Yeah.
And you've got out of it because you know the routine, you know, inside out and back to front. There's a couple of times it's gone wrong, and
How could this go wrong?
it can't. Well, I mean, you can't say anything can go wrong, but I can't see a way that it could go wrong.
Well,
I
they
really-
did that for the Titanic. It's the unsinkable ship.
Yeah, right, exactly.
The unsinkable.
But you know, like you took that sweet prediction out your act because it kept going wrong.
yeah.
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 I don't see this ever going wrong. It's just brilliant. I love this. Would you do this?
Let's do this. I think I would. Yeah.
You would.
Mhm.
That took a while to get to.
Wait, I'm not allowed to be silly. I was doing it to be silly, but I'm not allowed to be silly. I forgot.
Would you do this?
Yep.
Okay. Would you do this on stage? I know you work mainly on stage, not close up. Would you do
Yeah.
this on stage?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going
I
to
think
say.
I'd add my own kicker to it though.
What, you're going to strip your clothes off again?
You can't say it like that.
Well, that's what you do, isn't it? At the end of your colour match routine, you rip your clothes off, and you've got another little outfit underneath.
Yeah.
That's what you.
That sounds better.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Okay. My challenge to you is you're back at the House of Secrets in 3 weeks' time.
Yeah.
Why don't you get a live performance footage of you doing this?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
On stage, your own
If I
routine.
do it, you give me 10.
Deal? But you got to do it, and you got to get a good reaction from the audience.
Yeah.
Deal?
Deal.
Boom. I'm going to give this 150%. I think this is one of the...
If I get a good reaction, I get an extra fiver.
Oh, shut up. You make enough money to pay me. I'm going to give this 150 quid. I think 150 quid. I'm going to give this 100. You talking about money? I'm going to give this 150%. I think this is potentially the trick of 2024. I love
You're
this.
going to give me 150 quid?
150%. Shut up.
No, you said
VR,
I'm going to give
VR, 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 VR,
You
VR.
said
What are you giving it?
150 million quid.
150 million%. Brilliant. Okay, 150 million% from Ryland.
Spread
Do you agree? Could this potentially be trick of the year?
Yeah.
I love this. I can't tell you how much I love this. Tricolour is brilliant. So 150% from me, whatever Ryland said for him. It's incredible. You can get it from all good magic dealers now, and it is worth its weight in gold.
And no shot in the bag.
Now, when you put your little hand down, VR is still going at this point.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Yep, VR. We're about to wrap this review show up. We're about to wrap this review show up, and my decision as to whether you can go VR or not is based on what happens. Go on.
There's no shot in the bag. There's no shot in the bag. There's no shot in the bag.
There's another review show in the bag.
No
I'm
shot
liking
in
this.
the bag.
Why have you got a
There's
bullet?
no shot in the bag.
Why have you got? Were you about to shoot me?
No, got no gun. My guns are down. Well, no, my Nerf guns are down there.
There's another review show in the bag. Thank you once again for joining me. Remember, VR, when I talk about the net tricks. Remember, this is another review show in the bag. Now, don't forget, you can join us every week on a Wednesday at 5 o'clock if you want to see the next review show. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Don't forget, if you want to follow Ryland the Kid Magician, he is on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Just search for Ryland the Kid Magician. You want to follow me, you can do so on all my social media as well. And don't forget, I have an online streaming platform. Ryland, tell them what the URL is of the streaming platform. If somebody wanted to go and join the net tricks.
www.thenettricks.com.
That's right. It's www.thenettricks.com. I'm loving life. This is amazing. I'll see you again next week. Say bye, Ryan. Finally, I win. Tell them again. What is it? Dot what?
.com. Is the VR time over now?
Yes.
Cookies, cookies, cookies,